Hi guys, my name is Sarah LaFleur, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on handstand with scorpion variation. So I'll just talk a little bit about handstand first before I do any demonstrating. The actual pose of handstand requires an enormous amount of abdominal strength, obviously. In addition to that abdominal strength, it also requires a really deep practical understanding of your body, an awareness of it, and some knowledge about how to really utilize every component of your body in perfect harmony together to achieve the pose that you desire to achieve, which in this tutorial is handstand. So we'll talk a little bit about the strength of your abdominals. A really important key piece of not only yoga practice but handstand is Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha. So your bandhas act as energy centers, energy points in the body. It's almost like energy locks that when you engage your muscles in such a way, they allow you to move very fluidly and lightly in your pose or in your practice and into your pose, which is handstand. So the first bandha is Uddiyana Bandha, meaning belly lock. To find this bandha, you're going to, as you inhale, suck your stomach in, draw your navel back to meet your spine, and then as you exhale, pushing your spine forward to meet the belly button. Mula Bandha is a bandha that almost follows Uddiyana Bandha once you find this. Mula Bandha is made by engaging your bathroom muscles, so lifting the pelvic floor at the base of the torso. If you've ever been on that family road trip from hell where you're stuck in the car for 7, 8, 9 hours and you cannot find a rest stop but you have to go to the bathroom, these are the muscles that you're going to be engaging. So Mula Bandha is the same effect of lifting up. And notice how when these two bandhas are engaged, I begin to sit up a little bit taller. My heart begins to lift and my spine straightens a little bit more. These are going to be absolutely vital for finding handstand. I'll just point this out. One of the ways that I learned handstand, it was not through yoga or in any kind of yogic way whatsoever. I learned handstand in gymnastics when I was really little, and all they told us was suck your stomach in and squeeze your butt cheeks together. That was the terminology they used. And I wasn't really allowed to think about it. They kind of just forced us into it. I hear a lot of students in my classes talking about their fear of falling on their face, their fear of being upside down. And it's all valid fears, but I promise you, if you allow your body and your practice to really guide you into this pose, there's nothing to be afraid of. So really just listen to your own intuitions and your own body and your own awareness of it. What else? So it's necessary that you use these two bandhas in achieving handstand. And it's important to know that we're using our engagement of our muscles to lift us up into this pose. But once we're already lifted up, we are going to align our hands, our shoulder girdle, our shoulder muscles, our pelvis, our hips, and our feet in such a way that it's going to line up with the force of gravity. And not only with the force of gravity, but with the geometry of your own skeletal and muscular structure. So it's not doing anything that is harmful for you, that's defying the natural forces like gravity and things like that. You're really just working with what you already have. What's different about it is that you're going upside down. It's not something you do every day, or maybe it is. But this purpose of this tutorial is to get you used to and comfortable with going upside down before we talk about scorpion. So in order to even pike up to handstand, we're going to be doing this in a very fluid, light way. And to do that, it's necessary to use the bandhas. So let me try it out. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is starting out when you're new to this, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. I do not recommend or suggest using a wall to achieve handstand in the beginning, simply because it's necessary that you develop the foundational strength to achieve this pose. So the first thing is looking down at your hands. You want to spread the fingers out nice and wide, and you want the wrists to be right below your shoulders. So I find that it's easiest to do this when I'm in standing split. So I'm going to lift my right leg up and point my toes. So in the beginning, you're going to find Uddiyana Bandha, suck your stomach in, you're just going to be taking little baby hops. Just little ones. Just be patient with yourself and know that this may take a little bit of time to achieve what you're looking for. But if you allow your practice to guide you, it will come. Just be patient. So once we're taking baby hops, what we're going to want to do is it's important to push the shoulders away from the ears and down the back. So almost as if you can imagine pushing a wall. When you're pushing a wall, you're going to automatically engage your core, get a really stable foundation, and then when you push, you're going to be pushing your shoulders away from the wall and behind you. So your heart is automatically going to lift, and your stomach is automatically going to lift in and up. It's the same thing with handstand. You're pushing the floor literally away from you. So when you find handstand again, I'll just demonstrate really quick. Once you're in midair, you're going to allow your abdominal muscles to lift you up a little bit more until your hips and your pelvis are they're stacked directly over your shoulder girdle. So I'm going to lift up. And then point my toes together. Boom. See, I'm not really engaging so much now. I'm just hanging out. Once you line up with the center of gravity, you'll feel an automatic shift of, wow, this is pretty easy. I don't need to try so hard. That comes from not necessarily the strength of your abdominals, but just the knowledge and the understanding and the awareness of how to utilize all the components of your body together to, like I said, align with the natural forces of both the earth and of your own body. So now I'll talk a little bit about the scorpion variation. I learned this with Pinchi Mayurasana on my forearms, and I started practicing with it with handstand with the wall, which I'll go through. It's absolutely vital in intense back bends, such as scorpion, that we have a strong core and a ton of flexibility in our back. So it's the same thing, and I'll walk you through it. As you can see, in handstand, we're pushing the shoulders away from the ears. Down the back, heart is lifting. In scorpion, it's the same thing, but you're working a little bit harder to push the shoulders down the back, which is going to encourage the heart to open as your feet are lowering down slowly. So I'll show you here. So I'm going to be kicking up into handstand. My feet are going to be finding the wall. Now for me, I'm going to walk my hands back a little bit to give me the room to really walk down the wall. So I'm beginning to arch my low back, look up at the wall. Shoulders, notice my shoulders moving away from the ears. Walking my feet down slowly, maybe one foot drops. Now just my big toes holding me on the wall. Whoop. Let's try again. So even me, I'm still practicing. It's just important that you really allow your own breath and your bandhas to guide you into this. So there you have it, handstand with scorpion variation. Just remember to really allow your own practice to guide you. Sun salutations are essential. For me, I practice, I'm an Ashtanga here at heart. I practice the primary series as much as I can. And that really allows me to have the necessary strength and flexibility for inversions and back bends and those kinds of things. So thank you so much for watching and happy practicing.